Hey everybody, it's me, Detroit Lenny with Picks and Parlays. Let me make sure my mic is on. We don't have no more technical difficulties like last week. I'm supposed to have Kabir Singh on, and I guess we're having some plane issues. His plane was delayed, so I think he's still in the air. I did send him the link to join us, but I don't think he's off the plane yet. So we're just going to head right into it. Worst case scenario, next week he will be on, talk some more fantasy football, stuff like that. Francisco, what's happening? Oh no, Tim Earl. Oh, snap. It's Lenny. What's happening, guys? We're going to talk some week 2 fantasy football for you. Some stardom, sit-em. I've decided, I don't think it's best for me to kind of go into really stardom, sit-ems type situations. Like, if I have to tell you to start Patrick Mahomes every week, you shouldn't be in fantasy football. So I decided to do a little bit of this instead. Week 2 sleepers for me. Some people that can really make a difference in. We don't really have bye weeks yet in some leagues. You shouldn't be in a bye week yet. So with that being said, I think these are some people that can really impact your week this week in fantasy football with some undercover games. And those top 5 people I have for you are, I'm going to go over Arizona, Ronald Moore, wide receiver versus Minnesota. First of all, let me just say this. Let me pull up my stats on Mr. Moore. I think it's a great matchup for him. Not Ronald Jones, Ronald Moore. Where's he at? Hold on 1 second. Ronald Moore. Here we go. Yeah, playing against the Vikings, Moore caught 4 of 5 targets for 68 yards last week. Nothing really to write home about, but be excited for this rookie because he can make some moves. And the Vikings defense, they struggled against Jamar Chase, rookie, and I don't really feel like he's going to. He's going to be able to make some differences against Minnesota's defense, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So, and Arizona, they can move the ball, and that offense could be very, very, very good at home. I like him in this spot. Next person I like also is Tampa Bay's Ronald Jones. Tampa going against Atlanta. Atlanta's defense is nothing to write home about. So I don't think, anyway, these are my opinions. You ain't got to like them. You ain't got to love them. But what you got to do is hit the like button. Let's go. Hit the like button. Give me a share. My wife says, hey. That being said, Ronald Jones versus Atlanta, I think he can eat up some yards. Tampa gets ahead, and then they just run the rock, and he could really get some garbage yards and possibly you're hoping for 2 touchdowns is a perfect scenario, but he gets you 1 and some yards. So there's that. Francisco said he already hit the thumbs up. Robert Meredith says, Lenny, let's begin. I need the money on this parlays. Well, we ain't going over those. We're going over fantasy football. But you can make some money on DraftKings from what I heard on fantasy football. I can't do that. I live in Vegas, so we're not allowed to do all that. My sleeper quarterback start of the day for tomorrow, and you guys are going to probably laugh at this, and it's going to be Denver's quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater, going against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm not saying old Teddy boy is going to light up the world here or whatever, but Teddy is very, very undercover good in an undercover offense. The Denver Broncos defense is legit, and they are probably a really, really good quarterback away from being in a Super Bowl contender, or at least a deep playoff threat. Bridgewater had 264 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Giants defense. Plus, he ran for, I think, 20 yards, 19 yards here, stat says. The Jaguars gave up an even easier 291 and 2 touchdowns, plus a 40-yard run for Tyrod Taylor last week. Bridgewater is better than Tyrod, so I expect Bridgewater to do good things with them today. Yeah. Kevin says he's got Teddy on a $25 FanDuel play. Yeah, I think he does really well. I think it's in a good spot for him to do really, really well. Let's see. Clap says start Tim, Patrick, or KJ Hamler this week over Robbie Anderson, or give Robbie the start. I like Robbie Anderson here. I do. I don't know why. I got no stats, and this sounds bad because this is my show, But I'll be 100% honest and real with you guys. I always will. I got no stats to back that up, but I like this spot in Robbie Anderson. It's just his. It's his. I think he balls out tomorrow, I should say. My tight end sleeper pick, which some of you guys are going to like this, and some of you guys are going to laugh at me about this, and I'm okay with that. Gerald, Everett, tight end. Seattle going against Tennessee. Tennessee's defense, passing defense, might be the worst in the league, and that's saying a lot. They're definitely bottom 5. And they knew that kind of going in. I mean, their defense, their passing defense is not great. People are going to throw the ball around on them. They got beat up last week. I expect them to do better this week as a whole, as the team, as a bounce back, don't overreact over week 1 type situation. But in this spot, Gerald Everett is a safety net for Russell Wilson, and he likes it. And to dump off like that, get some easy touchdowns inside the red zone, he could get out of here with easily 2 touchdowns and 40, 50 yards, and now all of a sudden, he's a great tight end. Situational spots for these guys. These guys will... in my opinion, they're going to exceed in this week. I'm not saying pick them up and keep them on your roster for the whole year. But if you had Mostert, Raheem, that went down, I think he's out the rest of the year, if I'm not mistaken. He's got chipped cartilage in his knee. That doesn't sound good to me. So that being said, someone like Sermon could be a good pickup as well on a waiver wire if you got some guys that went down early. My running back, though, sleeper starter of the week, and this is not, I didn't even want to put him on my list. I didn't want to do it, but I'm reading the bulletin board material. Green Bay let Jamal Williams go because of Aaron Jones. We all know that. Sorry, I'm also watching the Miami-Michigan State game live, and Miami just fumbled the ball. Michigan State recovered, and I got Michigan State on the money line, so that's what I'm saying. Also, I'm thinking Jamal Williams in this spot against Green Bay. Now everybody's going to call me crazy and I'm just a homer because I'm from Detroit and whatever. And that's fine. Maybe. But, they just flat out released him and let him go. And the Lions swooped up, and he's a great pickup for the Lions because he's right behind DeAndre Swift, who gets hurt halfway through the year. And he can pound the ball. The thing is, the Giants, or the Packers took it a step further, Green Bay, and said some kind of, I don't want to say nasty things about him, but just kind of dismissed him. Like how his talent level wasn't up to par. You don't need to say that. You don't need to say his talent level wasn't up to par. You just don't. Just release him and move on. Don't be bitter. Okay? They didn't want to pay him. It's cool. You got Aaron Jones. You got Aaron Rodgers. You got whatever. It's Jamal freaking Williams. You don't have to be mean to him. Well, the Lions, he referred to the Lions as the new prettier girlfriend. And the Green Bay Packers as his bitter ex, and they keep talking about him, and he don't want nothing to do with them. He's like, look, they feed me, they eat me, they clothe me, I like it. I'll take this job in Green Bay. In Detroit. So look for him to have a little vengeful spot. Look to him to maybe get 2 touchdowns in a spot that he's not going to be running back number 1, but he could get you some. He could get you some scores. Let's jump back over to the chat. I'm thinking the same thing, though. Thanks. Yeah, you're talking about the Robbie, about starting Robbie Anderson. Yes. One more thing, though. Do I give Tim or KJ the start over Jacoby? Hold on. Ads running on ESPN. Do I give Tim or KJ the start over Jacoby Myers at the flex? But I like Jacoby against the Jets. I was going to say, I like him against the Jets. That's why I like Jacoby. I like Jacoby against the Jets. I like who he's playing as opposed to just him in general. I do like that. Jacoby Jones, I think, is going to get you some points against the Jets in a situation. Again, fantasy football is week-to-week situations. Like, I have on my predicament I'm in right now. I've been grueling over since probably last Tuesday. I have Matt Stafford and Dak Prescott. I have both quarterbacks. I can only start one. And I feel like no matter which one I start, I'm going to regret not starting the other one. So I'm probably going to go roll with Matt Stafford against Indy because of what he did last week. But I really want to start Dax in this position. So it's, again, situational. Because It's against the Chargers, the Cowboys. I don't know yet. I know what Matt Stafford can do, and I know what he can do against an Indy defense, so that's why I'm starting him. Scott Williams says Chris Carson or Jameis Robinson. Chris Carson. I think he gets more touchdown carries, more end zone, red zone stuff over James Robinson. At Scott, sit J-Rob this week. Yeah, I agree. I agree. What's up, Tony Cobbs the GOAT? What's happening? What you got, Lenny? What you got? I got a little bit of this. I got a little bit of that. I got the Michigan State Spartans up 24-14 with 13 minutes left in the game, and I got them on the money line. I got all that. Plus money says, hi, Tony. Down in Cusack says, Allen or Hurts? Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts. I like Jalen Hurts here. I think he's going to do some good things in against the... Look, we saw what the Lions can do against the 49ers' overrated defense, I think. It's my opinion. I'm a Lions fan, so don't hate on me. But Josh Allen in Buffalo, I don't know if they know what the hell they're doing yet. So I like Jalen Hurts in this spot. I think he's got more to prove. And I think Buffalo has the talent to come out the gate this week or this season and fall behind a couple games and still be a playoff contender. Jalen Hurts in Philly does not have that opportunity. They have to come out swinging, they have to come out hot, and they have to stay hot, and that's the way they make the playoffs. Thanks all. No problem, bro. That's what we's here for. That's why we's doing. That's the story of my fantasy life. Always on the wrong guy on the wrong day. I could go so many ways with that. We're going to moving on to Tony Cobbs the Great. What's up, Allie? You guys have your own conversation. Feel free. You just got to continue to go ahead. I'm starting Hurts. I think that's a good move. What's up, Donald? Ladies in the house. Or Donna. Not Donald. I don't know what I'm doing. Ladies come to visit Detroit and Lenny. Why? Because they love themselves some panda. Not like Erica Taylor. Erica Taylor hates pandas. It's rude, but there's a whole story about that. Like I said, Kabir will probably be on next Saturday. We're going to get him more and schedule the show maybe better than with the airline schedule. And then in case there's any kind of delays or anything like that, we don't have to worry about airport drama or airport Wi-Fi for that. So Anthony wants to know about Tua or Ryan for my QB2 in an SF league, San Francisco league. I don't know what an SF league is. I'm not going to lie. Tua or... Oh, man, that's hard. Tua against Buffalo's D. And I don't know. I wish you were talking about Ryan Fitzmagic, but I know you're not. Tannehill, I just don't... Maybe it's like we talked about this all week. Multiple shows with Picks and Parlay about week one overreaction. And maybe the Titans are in that type of situation and Ryan Tannehill can bounce back. But until the Titans prove to me that he can, and when they bounce back, they're just going to hand the rock off to to Derrick Henry, and he's just going to run the ball for 40 times and 200 yards and 15 touchdowns. So Ryan Tannehill's not getting you any fantasy points by handing the ball off Derrick Henry. Tua, I think, can get you more, has more upside, more opportunity to get you points with that situation against Buffalo. But Buffalo's D is like, I don't like either one, Anthony. Super flex. Okay. That's a super flex league. Interesting. So on a super flex, I'm assuming instead of just your wide receiver, running back, tight end in that flex spot, you could start a quarterback as well. So you could have two quarterbacks starting. I've never played in a league like that, but I would be interested because I'm a degenerate, and I'm okay with that. But that's good to know. In a super flex league, though, it's not your primary starter. It's going to be your QB2. I like Tua because he's going to scramble and run around with his head cut off like a chicken with his head cut off. So I like that. Donna Cusick, parlays are here. They're here, and they ain't going nowhere. But Anthony, I'm intrigued by your super. I'm sorry, I got thrown all off. I was on a rhythm. Super flex league. I'm intrigued by that whole thing. I run a league for some friends, some other degenerate guys like me, and our wives, and I'd be interested in doing that. Rendon says Jamar Chase or Chase Edmonds. For me, this is easy. I'm a Jamar Chase fan. I think old Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow got something going, kind of like Tom Brady and Randy Moss had for that little bit of time. And I think you're going to see nothing but more out of Jamar Chase and Cincy with Joe Burrow. The person that hurts a lot on that team then will be Joe Mixon and those carries. But Chase Edmonds, don't get me wrong, he's in a good spot. He's in a real good spot because they're at home, right? They are at home. Where are they at? Yes. They are at home against the Vikings, which we all know they can run all over the place. Problem is, they're starting to look like Baltimore a little bit. Hear me out. Kyler Murray is starting to be like baby Lamar Jackson. So that takes away from their actual running backs and points that they need. So I mean, that's that, as far as that goes. So as far as that, like their quarterbacks get more of the rushing attempts or not attempts, but more yards and points. It's very easy from inside the red zone for a quarterback to scramble and get a touchdown, then a handoff and a outside left, right, whatever, you know what I mean, up the gut kind of shot. So Kyler Murray is taking away from Chase Edmonds, where I think Jamar Chase gets that deep ball. And he's going to be very good at it. Tony Cobb says, am I starting Murray at quarterback every day, all day, on 5 of my fantasies? Oh, you are starting him. I hope you weren't at yet. Always. Can I send you my team to rank? Absolutely. My Twitter handle is Detroit Lenny. It's just this right here. Detroit _Lenny. At Detroit _Leonard. Lenny, send me, not Leonard. God, my mother just kind of came out of my mouth. At Detroit _Lenny, feel free. Send me anything you got on Twitter. Shoot it to me. I'll be more than answer back and what you think, what your rank is or whatever. Last week in my fantasy team, I have to say this was part of my wager loss. I lost week 1 in our friends and family league kind of thing to my wife, my lovely Amanda's wife, Amanda Winston. I lost to her handedly by about 25, 30 points in week 1. So realistically, she should probably be the prettier face. She's definitely the prettier face. She should be on here telling you what she did for her fantasy team, because what the hell do I know? I lost to her. So I had to acknowledge the loss on my show, and I had to I'd changed my fantasy football team from Bishop Sycamore, which was a great name, by the way. I had to change it to Mandy's husband's team. That's the name of my team, Mandy's husband. For the whole year. So there's that. At Tony Cobbs, yeah, we're going to move right along. Plus Money, he says, at Tony Cobbs, how many fantasy leagues do you have? I am in 3. Tony Cobbs, how many are F. Joe Mixon? Exactly. Yeah, well, I don't know what he did to you, but F. Joe Mixon. I have 12 fantasy leagues, and wow, 12? How do you keep track? See, I do fantasy leagues, though, like not online for gambling or betting or whatever. I don't do those. I just, I know everybody I'm in a league with. Except for one league. I've been in the same fantasy football league for 18 years with guys from Michigan that we did. I just joined a league on Yahoo, and it's a keeper league, so we keep 3 players every year. And I've never met any of those guys. But that's really just for fun or whatever. Oh, my God, you are busy. 12 leagues. How do you do that? You're in 12. Tony Cobbs, if Kabir can't make it next week, guess who my guest host is going to be for Fantasy Football League show at 12 Pacific time, 3 o'clock Eastern on a Saturday. It's going to be the GOAT. Coming in hot, Tony Cobbs. We're not asking. Now I'm getting all mean. She is busy, right? Amanda's on rule. Whatever. I spent about 2 hours getting them all together. I spent about 2 hours with just my 3 leagues because I go down rabbit holes and whatever. So That's going to do it for us, though. I'm going to wrap it up. We're at about that 20-minute mark, and that's kind of where I want to keep this short, sweet, 15, 20-minute show. If you guys got any questions about fantasy football teams or anything like that, feel free. Hit me up at Twitter. I'm at Detroit_Lenny. I appreciate everybody stopping by. I appreciate everybody hitting the likes. This was kind of a new thing. I made it the whole show with my mic not on mute. It's better than last week. So we're there. Yeah, so we'll do that. And then any other questions, feel free. Hit me up on Twitter, or I'll be back next week also, 12 o'clock Pacific, 3 o'clock Eastern, every Saturday. Go over your fantasy football wants, needs, questions, thoughts. Take care, guys. I'm Detroit Lenny with Picks and Parlays. I'm out of here. Good luck, everybody. Go Spartans!